Good morning, Vietnam. Just kidding. Welcome to the Sugar Side Podcast. I'm Garrett. And as always, I am joined by the mysterious, the intelligent,
Wow, thank
the...
you.
I've said well endowed before, but I'm always happy to revisit that. Anyway, Trey, my best friend. How are you today?
I am good, man. I have felt old the past few days. I'm going to get into why in a little bit, but let's just say that I don't have the energy like I used to anymore. We've really reached that next plateau of I just want to be home on my couch.
Yeah, nope. I was taking like a little assessment, and a lot of the questions were like, you think you're in good health? And I was like, I've definitely been able to run a faster mile.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I'm feeling it too.
For
Buddy,
you,
the first year of 30 is definitely hurting.
for sure. Do you feel like you're in that place in your life where like you think about physical feats that you used to do and you think I could probably still do it?
Yeah, I
Not
like
that
to
you would
call it
try
my
it.
Uncle Rico. I'm in my
Yeah,
Uncle Rico phase
yeah,
of,
for sure.
especially living where I do, I look out at those mountains, I'm like, I used to be able to throw a football over those mountains.
Deadass, dude. Deadass.
Yes,
No,
definitely in the Uncle Rico phase of life,
for
but
sure.
it's never too late. I could lift weights
Yeah.
or run.
I mean, that's the thing is like, I feel like age-wise, we could be in the prime of our lives.
I
Like
know,
in
I'm still a
athletics,
young
they
man,
are. Yeah.
but
But it's like, I want to train Muay Thai too, but like, do I really want to get punched in the face? That sounds
yeah.
awful today. And like, not that long ago, I wouldn't have thought twice about it. It's like running or lifting weights. I'm kind of like, I could do
My
that on a
problem is
regular
that I
basis.
have difficulty like starting over,
Mhm.
where like, it could be as easy as like getting back into working out and just starting with lower reps. But like, I'm like, no, I used to be able to do 30 of these in a row. So I'm going to do fucking 30 of these right now. And then I'm like, I should have done 5,
Dude,
you know?
yeah, no, I definitely start too fast a lot.
Yeah.
And it's like it should be a gradual process it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? I sprint. My brain is so like seasons in 3 weeks and I got to get my shit together. And that's
Yeah.
not real anymore. But I just don't
No.
know how to turn that off.
No. Yeah, for real. And speaking of physical fitness, if anything I've learned, I probably shouldn't go on Survivor. So
Wow, I
let's
like
start
that
talking
segue.
about some Survivor.
I like that segue. That was good.
Trey, buddy,
Mm-hmm.
we took last week off in between our series. We wrapped up the Studio Ghibli series, and we're moving on to the Rocky series, which we will get to at the end of this episode. But we took last week off, so we actually have 2 weeks, so 2 episodes of Survivor to talk about.
We've survived twice.
Now, when this is it would take too long to really recap both episodes, so I'm gonna keep my part of the conversation. Which, by the way, I need to apologize to you formally. I haven't done this yet, but it's been on my head like for a while.
What's that?
The last episode, I had Buffy on my lap and stuff, and she was making noise and doing things, whatever. I barely registered or even understood you when you said that you caught up on Survivor.
Yeah.
So now it's like an equal conversation, and I
Yeah.
don't need to recap it. So I'm sorry that last time I still did like a whole recap, whatever, because I
No.
was like, oh, we could have totally turned that into a conversation. I didn't even realize that you had said that you caught up.
No, it was honestly, I was cool with the way the conversation normally goes because I feel like I was just better able to put in my 2 cents on things. But I think your summaries are good. I don't mind it.
Yeah,
Like
well,
that. I think it's cool.
now that you've caught up, I have to ask, did you pick a final 3 that you think are going to make it and can compare to mine?
Oh, I haven't consciously done that, to be honest with
Okay.
you. I
Well, take
have,
some time and think about it.
yeah, I will. I have characters that I like, or that, and they're similar to yours because I kind of started off paying attention to them because I knew your final three
Sure.
pick. Yeah, I feel like I have characters that I like because of the characters that I've been paying attention to from your final three pick list. And so I've kind of been paying attention to those storylines the most, even though I've obviously taken in like the events of the entire episode. But like, how can I not pay attention to Christian with where we started with our conversation a few weeks ago of how bad he fucking biffed it? I've been watching for his redemption since then. I feel like I'm like hyper focused on it. To be fair, I will admit that I am one episode behind now.
Right.
So I watched the episode that was leading up to last episode before we took the break, but I haven't watched last Wednesday's episode. So you'll
So
have to
that
recap that
means
a bit.
that you got to see the blood moon twist.
Yes, I did.
Where all 3 tribes went and 3 people got voted off. The only people safe that episode were Ozzy and Rizgod,
Yeah.
who got to spend the night on Exile Island and avoid the vote entirely, which is really, that is like a huge blessing.
Totally. Yeah.
And a smart choice to take Rizgod with Ozzy and really solidify that kind of like trifecta that's forming with Sari, Ozzy, and Rizgod.
And you know,
that's becoming dangerous.
Dude, I was gonna say, like, why are people not more worried about Sari? I don't know how she's just skating through this game right now.
She would be my first vote off, dude. She's never won Survivor. She's always proven how good she is in Survivor. She went and won the Traitors, and now she's on Survivor again, and it's like, get her the fuck out of here.
I don't understand. I feel like they all of the like little vignettes and interviews about her, everyone's like, oh, she's the best Survivor player ever. Oh, she's so good. Oh, I'm going to watch her. And then they don't do anything about it. And I'm like, hello,
get her out.
Get her out. Why are you worried about Joe Schmo? Bro, she's the biggest threat. It's so weird to me. But I mean, hats off to her. She's killing it again, and she's proving how good she is again in forming one of the strongest connections. Yeah. And like,
isn't it crazy how as soon as you don't involve Emily Flippin, nothing really bad happens to your game?
Dude, yeah. And I don't understand why people aren't more worried about her either. Just in that, like, she's able to kind of make connections and like everyone watches her blab her mouth about everybody else and they just keep her in the game. And I'm like, how many people is she going to be able to fuck over in their face and no one does anything? It's such a weird way to play the game and somehow it's working.
It is crazy, actually, that like there have been 0 consequences for her doing that every single time.
Every single episode.
Literally, we could make a montage at the end of the season of every time that somebody tells Emily a secret and then she goes around and tells it immediately.
Dude, it feels like you're playing a game of hide and go seek and a person, instead of hiding in their own spot, like hides behind you and makes noise so that the one who's it finds you. And then she just like runs off and you're like, you're not even hiding. You're just getting other people found. Like,
I mean, I guess it's a strategy.
Yeah.
But like, it comes across as chaotic and sloppy to us, but like, something is working in that. Like, maybe the idea is keep Emily around so that we always find out what's going on.
I feel like she's a mole, and I feel like even though it's chaotic from a third person view or an outsider's perspective, I feel like she also picks on scabs between people. She does choose the right moments to be like, I know you don't like him and I can help get him out, even if it means I'm like loud about it. She helps the right people at the right time. She screwed over Christian, but not really. They're both still in the game. She was just kind of helping herself, but like, so she's almost plays like in the middle. And it's like, it's hard to hate her. I could see it as being hard to hate her as a player because she's always going to have a case of like, she did help me kind of, sort of, you know, for an episode.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It might come to bite her in the ass down the line. Yeah. Sorry. We can talk
my
about this all
3
day.
players and how they are performing. Starting with the Blood Moon twist. The audience, a little quick recap. It's been a minute. My top 3 are were.
I did hear that.
Camilla, Christian, and Aubrey. Those were my top 3 that I chose. And unfortunately, so that's what the Blood Moon was, such a like combination of highs and lows for me, because my girl Aubrey got out her biggest rival and they got Genevieve. And I thought that was amazing. Poor Genevieve, man, finding 2 of those fucking stupid Billie Eilish boomerang idols and not getting to use any idol of her own. It's like, you know what, Billie Eilish, you owe Genevieve $1 million
Yeah.
because like she could have done something with 2 idols.
Yeah,
Instead,
totally.
she had to get rid of both of those, and it didn't benefit her at all. In fact, because of the way that the boomerang idols are getting used and played out, they're not getting boomerang back.
Right. Right. You're just
So
getting
they're
an idol
literally
pass
just
free.
becoming an idol
Yeah.
that you gave away.
Yeah, you just threw away
It's
an idol.
yeah, no, it should be called the Billie Eilish stick idol because if you throw a stick one way, it's gonna just land over in the dirt. Like it's
So,
not
like,
gonna do anything for you.
what would be a situation that the boomerang idol would come back to you?
It would be if Genevieve had gotten to keep the boomerang idol, or so it would be like if Genevieve found an idol, gave it to Camilla, Camilla used the idol to stay alive, and Genevieve is still in the game, then it would boomerang back to Genevieve.
So it only works if the person who gave away the idol doesn't get voted off that episode, basically.
Yeah, and now Genevieve's off the show, and she's giving away 2 of those idols, so it has no one to boomerang back to, you stupid fucks.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
What an actually stupid mechanic.
Yeah.
On season 50? Are you kidding
Yeah.
me?
I mean, it does kind of like remind me who she gave the idols to. Do you remember?
Rizzo, and we know Christian gave his to Aubrey,
Aubrey, yeah.
but she played it. And so, does that mean it boomerangs back to her now? Or back to Christian? I don't know.
It has to be to
Because Christian's still in the game.
it has to be to Aubrey, I feel.
No, Christian gave his to Aubrey.
Right.
Aubrey played it on the most recent
But
episode.
to stay alive. Okay. I see what you mean.
It was just to get the target off her back. She was like, everyone knows about this idol. It's literally useless to me. So I'm going to play it. All of you can see me play it so that you leave me alone. That's why she played it. It was just to get rid of it. It wasn't because she thought she was in danger. But she was like, everyone knows about this idol. They're all going to be coming after me to flush the idol or to vote me off. So fuck it. I don't need the idol.
Yeah. So then Christian would get it back. Because that sounds like the mechanic, right? Like she played it and used it for herself, but Christian stayed in. So he gets it back, I guess.
I don't know if everyone knows if Christian is the one that sent it, because if that's how that is the situation, then everyone knows then that Christian has an idol and the target goes to him.
Well, did anyone squeal?
Real fast, let's get back to it though. Camilla, one of my 3, met her end, and that is a huge disappointment. You know what really grinds my gears?
What's that, Peter Griffin?
Why do a big tribe merge and then still split them into 3 tribes for like these small group vote outs? It really ruins the entire dynamic. And the most recent episode where like 17 of them were sitting there to vote someone off was far more interesting than this, because it just turns into like who has 3 people to vote out, because you have groups of 5.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
who has 3?
I don't know, it just became really easy. And so like that blood moon twist was like, I had no suspense during that episode or thought it was cool. I was like, now I have to sit through 3 tribal councils. I want 1 good tribal council, not 3 lame ones.
Yeah, totally. And I feel like, I don't know, is our Survivor season standard lengths of time, or does that change per season? Because it just feels like
it has changed, because they used to be on the island for longer back in the day, so the seasons were longer.
This just feels rushed. Like there just seems to be a lot of like effort to get people off the show very quickly. What
did you think of the Colby glazing? Let's get off Camilla. It's a bummer. She lost.
Sucks, yeah.
I think that she had a chance to work something out, but at the same time, it was one of those episodes where they cut it in a way where it's like, are they going to do the easy thing and vote Camilla off, or is this cool thing going to happen? And then the very easy thing happens in Tribal, and it's like, okay, you wasted my time with all that talking.
Yeah.
Put some action into it.
Yeah, that's been a common complaint this season.
Yeah,
but they haven't done that well.
Colby was on the 2nd season of Survivor, and he's played a bunch of times. It's been 15 years since the last time that he played.
Wow.
And let me just say, his last time on was Heroes versus Villains, and that man probably had the worst time of his life out there. Like, he was angry the entire time. It was like he had no fun. Someone pointed out that Colby was getting older and wasn't as athletic as he was in season 2, and they called him
Wow.
Superman in a fat suit, and that really got to him. But so the theory is that he was going to get medevaced for his injuries.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so they probably presented him with an option, and the option was get voted out. We'll make it special and just glaze you up the whole time and make it like you're a legacy player. You're the hero of Survivor, and we'll give you this hero send off, and you get voted off with dignity, or we medevac you. And so I think he had to get voted off, and and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm
it was
okay
fine.
with if that's the case, I'm okay with how they handled it, and like that they gave him a dignifying end to his Survivor career. I've never been like the biggest Colby fan watching the show, but I can respect that like the show is successful because you were on it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and like you should get a little respect on your way out and like get voted off with dignity. I think that's okay. I also think that the producers were probably looking at it like this. They were probably like, Kyle's already been medevaced. We planned this stupid blood moon twist, and 3 people have to go. If we medevac Colby too,
Yeah.
then that takes the 3 to 4 people, and that really throws off their schedule of like how Survivor should be played.
Totally. Yeah.
And they were probably like, dude, please just let us vote you off so that we don't have to get rid of another person.
Yeah. No, I could totally see that too. I feel like you're probably right. Like, and especially with how Heroes and Villains went, like you said, I'm sure leaving with dignity was important to him more so than probably other people.
And I would say that overall in season 50, he has shown growth, right? Like we talked about how Ozzy and how much I hate him.
Yeah.
And that he showed up on this season, and I'm like, he hasn't changed even a little bit.
You immediately said he's the same guy.
I can recognize that Colby was like definitely a like change in character this time around. And so like, just going off of before, do I think that he deserved like this dignified glazing session? Probably not.
Yeah.
This season, sure.
He earned it. Yeah. No,
like
that's fair.
he earned it back a little bit. Maybe it's the edit, maybe it's like whatever, but I was like, yeah, cool. Give it to him. And he's out of there. So the big players that are left who almost got voted out was Coach on the most recent episode. Coach is up there, Ozzy's up there still, but Coach came very close to getting voted off just because he's so annoying, dude. When you get there and it's like the montage of him writing haikus. Also, I counted some of the syllables in what he was saying, and it's like, those aren't even right. For haikus. Tribal is 2 syllables, Coach. Tribal council. Look at that, 4 syllables. And
he says it fast, like tribal.
yeah.
Tribal council.
Ridiculous. But and unfortunately, we had to say goodbye to another strong female. So we lost Genevieve, we lost Camilla, and most recent episode, we had to say goodbye to Dee. And Dee is also one of those characters that we love to watch. She's very competitive and a strong player. And so seeing Dee go was a bummer. And the reason Dee went is because a little someone named Emily Flippin went around telling people something that she shouldn't have told them. When is it ever going to come back and bite her in the ass, dude? I need to see Emily Flippin go.
Yeah, it's tough to say, man. I feel like it will come around at some point. She's just hoping the wave break will last long enough that she can just ride this into the beach. And I don't know if she's going to be able to do that.
No, it's getting out of hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's where we're at. We've got another episode coming out tonight. Did you have any thoughts on like your little Survivor 50 journey so far before we pass the sugar?
I've liked it a lot. I feel like it's a really interesting show, and like I like the Battle of the Minds aspect, and I love that, like, you know how much I love reality TV and like drama on reality TV, and I feel like this drama actually leads to something, and that's like fun. That's like a different kind of show, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if
you need a recommendation, if I would say this is your entryway, you should go back and watch some of the other seasons that are like legendary in my mind. Millennials versus Gen X is such a good
that
season.
sounds like a good one, actually.
Tre, On God. Okay, audience, you do not know me and Tre's relationship on this level yet, but you're about to.
Oh no.
One of the best seasons of Survivor is when they broke into 3 groups, 3 tribes at the start. You had whites, Mexicans, and blacks. You have to watch the race season of Survivor.
That's not real. That's the script
It's
that you
real.
wrote.
It's real. And you know what? I'm gonna die on the hill that Survivor giving up themed seasons was a huge mistake.
You liked that.
Huge mistake. Give me straights versus gays versus bis. Give me I need it. I need all of those. It adds such a level of like, I can't believe they got away with that to Survivor.
That's
And
so
the things I'm gonna tell you off screen. I'm gonna tell you this stuff off screen so that I don't get canceled.
yeah.
But
You're walking a tightrope, buddy.
they announce it real.
What year
Like,
did this come out?
Sooner than you think.
Yeah, I'm
My
gonna look into
God,
that.
it
That's
just
awesome. That's
that's
so
why I
good.
love Survivor, dude. That show is so unhinged. Like, the things that they used to get away with were fucking crazy.
That's so funny, man. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. Well, we're gonna pass the sugar because if the audience hasn't noticed yet, this is a head on my tank top, and you're probably wondering, "Hey Trey, what shirt do you have on right now?" And you know
I
what?
was wondering that. Hey, Trey, what
What's
shirt
up?
are you wearing right now?
I'm glad you asked. So, as you guys know, if you forgot, here's a reminder. I went to Coachella weekend 1 this past weekend. I only went Saturday for none other than Justin Bieber himself. So, this tank top was part of his merch line, and how could I not just have a picture of him flipping off everybody that I wear? I think that's the greatest shirt I've ever seen. The fact that he actually put that in an like authenticated merch tent at Coachella and it's just hanging there like this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. I had to have it.
Yeah.
We only went Saturday. We were there all day. So I saw a lot of different artists and it was great. Hot, dusty. I wouldn't go back. I'm too old. I don't know how people do all 3 days. Judge me, call me out of shape. That's fine. I can only do 1 day in the summer, in the desert heat like that. But I want to go on a little bit of a rant today and it won't be super long, but I feel like being there for Justin Bieber set, especially weekend 1, and watching the mixed reviews and differing opinions I've seen on the internet, I feel like I need to say something because people are just wrong about it. Like their negative opinions are just flat out wrong. And I'm sure some of them are to make headlines, but I just can't believe people are saying it. Like it's just so crazy to me. So for those of you who didn't see it, I'm sure you've seen clips of it. The main negative thing I've seen about it is that he just got up there and did karaoke on his laptop on YouTube. And I think that is the most ignorant, like insane thing to say. But I also feel like if you weren't a fan of his previously, then you might not get it. And that's okay. I felt like, and we talked about this when we covered his album, this was going to be his step back into music after taking like 4 years off of music completely. And it's the first time that he's performed independently of having a manager and after selling his discography. So he started his career on YouTube, getting discovered on YouTube as a kid who just sang covers. And he came back into music, singing his songs off of YouTube and kind of felt like he lived the nostalgia with his fans of like, there was a lot of bullshit back there, but this was fun. And I want to share this with you because you guys have been with me this long. And he actually did both covers that got him discovered too, and played the videos of him at like 11 in the background. So all that to say, it just felt like it was a big letter to his fans. And if you're not a fan of his, you might not get it.
Well, I'm not a fan of his, but I get that. Like it's, kind of like that's a gift to his fans. And I can at least look at it that way and not just be like this negative
right. Because
person
people are
about
calling it like lazy and saying that he like didn't care and he showed no effort. And it's like he brought out like 5 other artists to do duets with to different songs of different eras. He was dancing around. His lights were insane. He like started the show with like this circle light above him. that like the way the lights lit up looked like a UFO, and like a beam came down and he walked out of it and it looked like he was coming out of a UFO. Like, it was sick. Like, the show was sick. And so for people,
Did he sing Baby?
yes, he
No, he
harmonized with
didn't.
himself. Yes, he did, dude. So this is what he did. Listen. He gets on the laptop, and the laptop is hooked up to the big screens behind him, both audio and video. So it looked like a giant Twitch stream in real life. And he's like sitting up there, and he's like, y'all say you were my fans, but were you here for this though? And he typed something into the YouTube search bar and you could see it on the screen. And everyone would lose their minds when they read the song. And then he'd play the video in the background and he'd harmonize with himself on the video. It was sick. He sang Baby. He sang Beauty and the Beat with Nicki Minaj. He sang his song with Skrillex. He sang like all the bangers back to back to back. And he would just do one chorus and then he'd cut it off and he'd be like, okay, we're following. Y'all were really with me. And he like laughed with the crowd and had crowd engagement. It was fun, dude. It was so much fun. And so like to see all this hate of like, he clearly doesn't care about his fans. He doesn't deserve the money. If this was a female artist, she would be dragged. Like, it's just because he's a man. All of that made me so angry.
Well, isn't that kind of hypocritical to say, like, if this was a female artist, she'd be getting dragged while you're dragging him?
Right. Because their point is like, oh, we can be honest. Like, we're being honest that like it wasn't a good show, so we're going to drag him. But for people who are saying it was good, you're only saying that because he's a man type of thing. And it's like, shut up. Like, you weren't writing platinum records and performing platinum records at 16 years old. He can do that. You can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, whatever artists you liked headlining Coachella this year, they can't do that. It's not the same thing. So yeah, I thought it was really, really good. I think the hate is super unwarranted. And it felt like what Coachella was supposed to be about when it started. And that's not what it is anymore. And people who are hating don't understand like where the history of Coachella came from.
No, as a certified hater.
Yes.
I never hate on people for having fun.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to be that deep, bro. Like, you're at Coachella, half of you are like glazed over anyway with whatever.
And it was deep. That was the thing, was like, it was very sentimental. What people are complaining about is like, he didn't have dancers, he didn't have pyrotechnics, he didn't give big enough of a show. And I'm like, it doesn't need to be like the glitz and the glam. That's so fake, bro. Like, he can just show up.
That comes across more like selling out.
Right. Like, he can just show up independent on his own and just sing his ass off for an hour and a half. He was on from 11:25 to 1 a.m, bro. Like, get out of here. He was up there for such a long time. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying to keep it short, but I've been heated all week about it. But it was a great time.
It sounds like you had a great time in the moment, though, and that's all that matters. Is that you went there specifically for that part of the show, had a good time, and so like you got the experience that you wanted.
Absolutely,
which is important.
And I'm so glad I got to be there. It was really, really cool. And like I said before, I haven't been a fan of his very long. Shout out to my wife for educating me on that. So I speak purely from a newer fan, but I feel y'all who have been there since day one, as my wife has. And I'm glad you guys got that. It was really cool to see his fan base get that big hug.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
that is all I have to say on Coachella, but I am keeping this tank top on the rest of the episode because it's fucking sick.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so did we want to do Rocky?
I think we should pass the sugar straight into Rocky. You know, even just sitting here, I'm like, I have some other shows that I could talk about that like I brought up with you. I'm currently watching DTF St. Louis and Rooster, which are both HBO shows. I'm also finishing Silicon Valley, which I've already seen, but my wife hasn't, so we watch it together. But even just sitting here, I'm like, maybe I'll just make those into like mini TikTok reviews. And so if you want to catch my thoughts on those shows, The Boys season 5 is coming out right now. I'm watching that. I think I'll make mini like TikTok reviews of the various shows that I'm watching. Speaking though, and we're going to pass the sugar into Rocky, but I think we need to give our audience just a little bit of a heads up.
Yeah.
That we will be doing a big Baki section because
that's coming.
Yeah, because I finished the season 1 of the new part Baki Do. Is that how you say it?
That's
Baki
how
Do?
I've said it. Yeah.
Okay. And that was like the full season of Baki that I've ever seen. I've never watched a full season of Baki all the way start to finish. But I did. I just jumped right into the end and I loved it. So I'm going back to the beginning. And let me just say, Trey, like really briefly, I watched like the first 2 episodes of Baki part 1?
Yeah.
It is way more gruesome than I thought it was going to be. I was
Dude.
like, these people are dying.
Can
I thought that the death that I saw in Bakido was like new for the series because it was treated with such reverence.
No, listen, man. My text back to you yesterday when you talked about the death on Bakido, I literally said, no, they're always trying to kill each other. Like that's an every episode thing. These guys are murderers. Straight up.
Yeah.
Also,
I get it now, though. It was like the Danny DeVito moment where it was just like, I get it now. Like,
this is the second time.
It's about big guys beating each other up.
Who tried to get you on the show back in 2020, my friend? This is the second time this has happened after Blue Eyed Samurai.
Okay, but I'm in now. I'm totally in. I'm going to watch it from start to finish, and we could do a full Baki segment, Baki episode.
I'm down to rewatch it because the first season came out 6 years ago, and I watched it then. So it's been a while since I've seen the beginning, but I obviously keep coming back every time. The second I saw it dropped, I was like, Baki, Miyamoto, Musashi, done.
Dude, you didn't tell me how funny it is. That's the problem.
You
didn't tell me how funny it is.
Is that what because I can do that.
Like, I think that the structure of the show, where like for a 20-minute episode, right? It's a 20-minute episode.
About 24, something like that.
Yeah, like 15 to 20 of those 22 minutes are taken up with like intense lore dumps. And then like the fight is very quick. Like I think that's so fun. I think it's hilarious that Baki like beats people and then later Miyamoto beat people just by standing there and using their mind to project what they're going to do to them.
Yeah.
When he slashes that one dude and he goes, "Oh my God, you killed me." And like, but he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't even touch him.
Like I lost it. I thought that was so funny. He was like, "I felt you cut me."
Yeah, dude. That's how legendary he is. Like they know the outcome is inevitable. And that's been like what I want to do is I want to get through the first 2 series. And then I want to watch Bakido again together because having the context of all the characters that go against Miyamoto and watching them all get the same experience of like, holy shit, he doesn't have to touch me and I already know that I'm going to lose. These are some egos that have to come to grips with that. And the other 2 seasons or the other 2 series will delve into their characters individually because they're all in the show the entire time. And
I recognized a couple of them from the intro.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so they're gonna show up, and
so the more you know about them, you watch Bakido again, you're like, holy shit, Miyamoto, this guy is
let me
like
just say,
another level.
With no context, there's that one scene of they called him Pickle, and they were just like, and it was a crocodile that he wrestled back into a sewer, and they were like, "That's Pickle." I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I need to go learn who Pickle is.
What's so funny is like the first half of Bakido is the public's response to Miyamoto, and like, how did they bring back this legendary samurai? Is it really him? And Pickle's from like the dinosaur ages, and everyone just knows it's him.
They brought it up, and I was like, "Wait, Miyamoto is not even the oldest person to be resurrected from like this."
No, we've done this before.
I think that's hilarious.
It's so good, dude.
Yes, I'm definitely in on Baki. So we will revisit that before we get on a crazy tangent here. But it definitely got my attention.
That's so good.
And I'm excited for that journey.
Me too.
Let's pass the sugar into our new series, Trey. Did we settled that we're going to watch the Creed movies
with
we
did.
too, right?
Absolutely.
We did. Okay.
I feel like it wouldn't be fair if we didn't.
No, so that's 9 movies total that we're going to be watching.
Yep.
Starting with the original.
I wish I could play the music, but I can't.
Come on, dude. We're starting with Rocky 1. And I love this movie, bro. Like, it is ridiculous that I think it's good that we chose a series where we know that there are some bad movies in there.
And I think we both thought that was a necessity after Studio Ghibli because of how good all of the Studio Ghibli movies are. It makes the conversation much more boring just because we're just glazing. But Rocky, there's
some hate in there.
We're gonna get to some bad shit for sure.
But I have none of that to say for Rocky 1, dude. Rocky 1, especially just knowing the story behind it too, that he like pitched it around, everyone told him that like no, or like that he couldn't act in it, or like any of that stuff. And it just like even the making of the movie Rocky, which is one of the best underdog stories of all time. In itself was an underdog story of like how they made the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he won an Oscar for it that same year. Like, dude, ridiculous. That movie is, I think, like, it's just so touching. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, if you just go into Rocky as like it's a boxing movie, it's the same argument I make for all sorts of movies. But a lot of the time, it's a joke. Like with Die Hard, I'm like, it's a love story, and
Yeah.
that's a joke.
Yeah.
It's Die Hard. Rocky is a love
It's a
story,
love
dude.
story,
It is
dude.
like just purely about these two people, Rocky and Adrian,
Mm-hmm.
and like beating the odds of like he didn't even win. That's one of it's one of the most beautiful endings of all time
Yeah.
that he does not win, but he wins.
He wins. And I think the fact that his goal was to make it all 15 rounds, like he's like, it almost felt like, because like, what if he did win? What if he like knocked Apollo out, right? Then you
Yeah,
can call it a fluke. Then you could say like it could have happened on any given night. And
right.
instead, he had to show the grit to stay in there and earn the respect, even if it was a split decision loss. Like that is so much more valuable. And I think it just makes it for such a much more beautiful ending to where you're just like, hell yeah. Like the fight
Dude,
itself is such a roller coaster every time you
yeah,
watch it, no matter how many times you've seen it.
yeah. The weight of the entire franchise is on this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like there would be no Creed movies without
Yeah.
Rocky 1.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be like follow-up good Rocky movies without this one. We're going to talk about it when we get there, right? But like Rocky 2 would not be as good if Rocky wins at the end of this movie.
Totally. Yeah.
Rocky Balboa would not be as good had this not already been the precedent.
Yeah.
Like this movie is the reason that this franchise is successful.
Yeah.
I had to pause there for a second because I'm like, is Rocky's franchise that successful? But like, I mean, 9 movies.
Yeah. I feel like they were when they came out. They were just very
Sure.
spaced out over
Yeah.
time, especially between Rocky and Creed. They've just spanned a long.
Yeah. Dude, this movie has so many iconic scenes in it. They've been parodied to death, but when you're actually watching the movie, you recognize like why those scenes are iconic. I think of when he sits up in bed and just tells Adrian like, I can't do it. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like so sad
Yeah.
to see like this guy who has been the only but optimistic and nice to everyone that he's met. The girl that calls him a like screw you bozo whatever like and leaves, and after he gives her that whole talk about like you don't want to be like those guys are assholes.
Yeah.
Everyone's mean to Rocky and he's nice to everyone.
Yeah.
And so to see him finally have that moment of like doubt is like just one of the best scenes in the entire movie. And then, after he has that talk, he goes, or is it before? I'm getting twisted, but he goes to the stadium alone. And that's the scene where he's like, my shorts aren't right and stuff like that. And it's
Mhm.
just like, but he's just there like looking around and being like, do I even deserve to be here?
Right. Yeah. And I think it's so beautiful, like you said, this being a love story, a true love story that like he only shows his emotions outwardly to Adrian. I think that's so
Yeah.
cool that nobody else sees past that shell, even if it's a nice shell. He's
Yeah.
calm, cool, and collected until he's with her. And I think that's such a cool detail. But you're right. It's like so many hero movies are written to where you never doubt the hero because the hero never doubts himself. It's like it
Sure.
makes it so much more realistic and so much more relatable that like even though he ends up beating the odds and proving everybody wrong, it wasn't this single lane trajectory that allowed it to
Yeah.
happen. Like that doubt, it's one of those things that it almost mirrors keeping the franchise alive, like you said. It's like they're both going on the journey together,
Yeah.
and you really feel that, and it feels so much more realistic to experience that with Rocky because we've all been there.
Yeah.
We all go through that. Makes you love them.
I just think this is one of the most well-written movies ever.
Absolutely.
I could go on and on about all of my favorite scenes, like where he kicks Mickey out of his apartment and Mickey's walking down the stairs as he's yelling at him, like just like, where were you when this happened or when this happened? And like, I don't need you. I like all that. And then he takes a minute, and then he chases Mickey down the stairs and brings him back into his apartment and is like, "Okay, come on, like, I need your help."
Yeah.
Like, but it was just that moment of, like, feeling, and,
Yeah.
like, I cannot believe that some executive looked at him and said, "You can't act."
That's so crazy.
Because, you know what, like, Stallone, I get it. He's got one of the funniest voices to, like, make fun of and all that. Out of all those, like, action stars of the time, right? Like, you got Stallone and Bruce Willis and Arnold
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Schwarzenegger
yeah.
and, uh, dude, he's so good.
He's
He's
so
incredibly
good.
good in this movie.
Yeah.
He's acting with his eyes, his body, like, I can feel what Rocky's feeling, and that is only because of his acting capabilities. So fuck you, whoever is turning him out and saying that you can't do this.
Totally. That's so crazy. I wonder, like, what that audition looked like, or, like, if they even saw him act before they, like, judged him. Like, I can't imagine someone watched him do a scene and still was like, "No, you can't do that. You can't act."
Now, it was always the right call to have him write it, be the lead, do the whole thing, and because he is Rocky.
Yeah.
So, like,
I was thinking that earlier,
yeah,
like, he is one of those actors that he plays a character so well that that is Sylvester Stallone. They are synonymous. Like, if Sylvester
yeah,
Stallone's in a movie, Rocky's in that movie, and I'll still watch it.
yeah.
Like he
No,
will.
it's true. I can't say that every Stallone performance is good because it's not true.
Right, right, right,
But
right.
in these movies, like, you could go all the way up to
Yeah,
he's he was born to be Rocky, dude.
totally.
He never gives a bad performance as Rocky.
He takes his time with Rocky, yeah. Rocky matters a lot to him. It's everything to him, you can tell. Every time they decide to make a Rocky movie, he's
Yeah.
good, and in 9 movies, that's hard to say.
You know what else though? I gotta throw this out here. I mean, Adrian's also a great performance,
Mhm.
I think. But the Rocky movies have given me the gift of one of the best side characters ever put to screen in Paulie.
Paul's
Paulie is
awesome.
one of the best side characters of all time because he's such a dick. But like at the end of the day, they reconcile and they're friends like the whole time.
Yeah,
So like I don't know. Paulie's actor is also putting on a perfect performance for Paulie. And
totally.
let's not even we haven't even mentioned Apollo Creed yet.
Yeah,
And I love Apollo Creed and especially in Rocky 1. He's the perfect he portrays like that boxer that hasn't had that taste in a while. So like
mm,
Rocky is that like the struggle guy.
yeah,
And Apollo Creed at this point in Rocky 1 is successful.
yeah,
He is Rocky in Rocky 3.
yeah, yeah, and that's
And we'll get there when we get there,
that's
but like
also
Apollo
very real.
Creed is that guy in Rocky 1.
That's always so very real. It's much easier to become the champ than it is to stay the champ. It's really
Mm,
hard to keep that contender hunger when you're the champ and you really truly think you're the best. And that's also real too. We see that in combat sports all the time. You will see a guy
sure.
go on a run and you're like, he can beat anyone in the world any given night. And he becomes the champion, and 1 or 2 fights in of being the champion, he just doesn't look the same. And
Right.
it's one of those things that, like, it's hard to get up in the morning when you're comfortable, you know?
I
It's
love those scenes where he's saying something and it's like very pretentious. It's probably just about like the performance of it, whatever.
Mhm.
While his coach is watching film of Rocky punching meat, and his coach is like, like he's like he's got the eye of the tiger and we don't. Like
Yeah,
what if you're talking about confetti and he's over here pummeling frozen meat with his hands until they're bloody?
yeah,
Like you're fucked.
yeah, dude.
His coach has that look of like, oh man, we're just not ready
You're
for this.
also human, you're not
Uh huh.
unstoppable, and you need to recognize that because this guy's for real, and, it just sells more into the underdog story that, like, he was so underestimated. Apollo did
Yeah, I
not
mean,
think
think
Rocky
of
deserved to be
how
there.
he got chosen in the first place. Apollo just heard his name
Yeah,
and he goes, "The Italian Stallion." I
I
love it.
love it.
Like, he doesn't know anything about
Not a
Rocky.
thing. No. He just liked the
Yeah.
spectacle of it. That's all it was. He
Mhm.
was so I mean, he already won in his mind no matter who it was. He just
Right.
he just needed to get this fight because he wanted the money. That's all it was, and it was gonna be a show, and yeah, every single character in this movie is written so well, and they all gave such great performances that to watch the
Burgess
whole.
Meredith.
Yeah.
Burgess Meredith as Mickey, dude. You're an animal.
Yeah.
He's so good.
He's so good. The perfect
Yeah,
coach.
you could tell that he's just, like, lived the life. When he's,
Mhm.
like, telling Rocky about all of his injuries, he's like, "Look at this ear. I haven't been able to, like, hear out of this ear for 30 years." Like, he he's given a great performance. The performances are only as good as the writing, and the fact that this was written with such a nuanced understanding of that world
Mhm.
of boxing and being a competitive athlete
Totally.
is
Yeah.
what makes it, like, just out of sports movies in general, this is, like, that is one of the top
For
ones, dude.
sure, for sure. And the combat
Like,
sports
my favorite
world,
sports movie of all time is Dodgeball, but, like, that
yeah,
doesn't count.
that's a different conversation for a different day. But
But Rocky,
Rocky's up there, and, combat sports is such a nuanced world to cover and
yeah.
get right. This movie could have been so cheesy, and it has been. There's a lot of bad boxing movies and a lot of bad fighting movies out there, and even bad competitive sports movies. It's really
Do you have a
easy.
worst boxing movie of all time? What's the
The
worst boxing
worst
movie of all time?
one.
Right now, instantly comes to my head was a movie that's, like, so forgettable, I can't believe I just thought of it, is, Southpaw.
Oh, I didn't hate Southpaw.
You don't hate
I
Southpaw?
don't hate Southpaw. But then again, I watched it once in, like, high school,
Once.
so I feel like I need to watch it
Once.
again, yeah.
I saw it in theaters, it's not a Rocky.
No, no. That's the thing is, like, anything outside of the Rocky series is hard to get behind.
There are good ones. The Fighter.
The
The
Fighter's
Fighter's really
good.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I liked The
The
Fighter.
worst boxing movie of all time.
Is it in the
Can I
Rocky
think of one?
series? Did we think of
You
that
know
yet?
what? That's actually really funny. You're not wrong. You could say that Rocky has the peak and the
In the
lows
low, I mean,
of boxing
right.
movies. That was really funny. You just killed me with that one. That's really good.
We're not there yet, but, like, there's a Rocky in there that
Yeah,
might be the worst one.
you're not wrong. You're totally not wrong. That's actually super funny. You just killed me with that. Gosh, I'm
Yeah, I'm gonna
yeah, I don't know. I'd have to think about
to
it,
think about it,
but
but
you just got me with that one. You really got me with that one. It's a movie called Heavy Metal where it's the robots that are boxing.
yeah,
That one's
yeah,
good.
yeah, that one's okay. I think I saw that.
I don't remember what it's
I
called.
don't remember either, man.
There's a big fan base for that movie. I probably just offended a lot of them by not
Probably. I
remembering the
remember when it
title,
came out
whatever
in
it was.
theaters, everybody loved it. I
Yeah.
remember. No, that's so funny. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are going.
How are we doing our ranking this time? Are one of us keeping it secret? It would be my turn to keep it secret. Or are we just what if we both kept it secret this
I think we
time?
should both keep it secret and then reveal.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I think that'd be fun.
I know where Rocky 1 falls on my list, so as long as you've got an understanding of that, then we're
I
good.
mean, as we said before, lists can always change. You and I both revealed our lists to each other off screen already, but I think watching them again this time in order, some things will probably shift around a little bit.
Yeah.
But in my head right now, I know where Rocky 1 sits because my list
Okay.
has been pretty much the same for a really long
Sure.
time.
This is one of those franchises and series where I feel like there's like no subjectiveness to it. I'm like, no, this is objectively the list for Rocky.
Hmm.
It just is this way, and if you say otherwise, you're
You're
wrong.
just wrong. Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I do
It's
think
like, no, my opinion doesn't go into this. My opinion is like this is the way it is.
totally.
You
And
know?
I think what will be interesting is adding the creeds to that list
Sure.
because of how much newer they are. I feel like they're going to be in spots that I might not expect compared to the Rocky movies. Because I also feel like I've always had a Rocky list and haven't always
Uh-huh.
included Creed in that list.
It's true, and I think that this is gonna be a good time for me to rewatch those movies because I definitely have seen the Creed movies far less than I've
Mm,
seen the Rocky movies. I've seen all 6 Rocky movies dozens of times. Back when I was growing up, I have the entire set of DVDs, and I would, like, play them in car rides on the portable DVD players from way back when.
yeah,
They looked like little laptops.
yeah, yeah,
But Rockies were, like, go-to movies for me, so, like, I've seen all of those a lot.
yeah,
So, to your point, right, those have very, like, cultivated opinions versus
totally.
the Creed movies, which I think the Creed movies have a chance to slide their way into places that I didn't expect.
Yeah, yeah, I feel the same way because they're really good, and
They
we'll
are
get there when we
good.
get there, but they're good movies. But anyways, my friend, I think we are going to wrap up there for today. That was a fun one. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode as much as we did. If you are still keeping up with Survivor, let us know in the comments how your final 3 are doing and thoughts on the season overall. Because as a 50th season, there was a lot of expectations on this season, and they've kind of dropped the ball, in our opinion, a little bit. So let us know what you think about that. If you were at Coachella this past weekend, or you're going this coming weekend, comment down below what you're most excited for, even if it's not Justin Bieber. It's 3 days, 3 headliners, a bunch of really good artists and performances. So let us know in the comments who you're going to see. And if you love the Rocky movies as much as we do, tune into this series where we're covering one every week, and maybe you guys keep your list secret. And at the last episode of this series, we'll all reveal our lists and see how they compare and argue in the comments. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Garrett,
catch us on Twitch and TikTok and YouTube. Follow, subscribe, comment, all the things.
All the things on social media. We have been the Sugar Side Podcast. I've been Trey. That has been Garrett. And we will catch y'all on the next one.